just put a picture on Instagram that I think I want to play with my Flathead today. Not sure how appropriate that sounds, but you know, she's been sitting in here probably more than a year and a half. Before that it was sitting outside, then before that it was sitting in here, so she's seen no car show activity or no cruising activity in at least 2 years. Got a few bumps and bruises and scrapes on her, but she's still kick-ass as far as the Flathead goes. Should go way back in my very first videos. I made a cute little video trailer, movie trailer on her. It's a L block. It's poured in the Lincoln Foundry. It's a 48 block. And it's had about everything done to it. I've got some close-up pictures I'm going to go ahead and post in a bit. But right now I've got my jack stands and my jack out here. And I'm going to raise her up and start draining the oil because I don't want to fire it up with old oil. And I got one of those toilet paper oil filters on it. The Franz oil filters. I really like that. Especially because I got a bypass system. I need to get the best filtering I can. And I used to have a Marvel Mystery vapor oiler on it, but I took that off after a while because it just started splashing all over and making a mess. But I'm going to go ahead and jack it up, and we're going to check her out underneath and see what critters we got living in her. So I had to jack one side up because my jack won't fit the lowered axle I got. First need to tighten it up. The lowered axle I've got is exactly from the cement to the axle one fist, and this jack won't fit underneath it. I don't know where my other jack is, but I got a sneaky suspicion it's out in the shed. Sitting on the wishbones right now. So let's go back and raise up the rear. There's really not too much junk underneath the car. Looks like I'm going to have the same problem back here. Well, you know, I'm going to use the bolt where I have the bumper bolted to the frame, because if you know a Model A, the original rear bumper mounts went all the way up in front of the rear end of the car. Not anymore. There's not enough room with 4 shocks and spinning axles. And there we go. Now, I don't want this car falling on me. There we go. There's my rear end. It's out of a 1986 Jag XJS V12. It originally came with 288s. I liked it because it was a posi. inboard brakes and all that. I changed up the lower control arms here, as you can see, and I changed up the axles. It doesn't have the small cast axles because I had to actually narrow the rear end 10.5 inches. I kept the original axle housing on the outside, and I kept the original quad Jaguar shocks. Got a cool little backup light on here. I think that was out of a bicycle, but so you can see what I got going all the way up. And I got a 5-speed on the back of that. So she's been sitting here for a little while. She's got some spider webs, and I was hoping to get it up off the ground way before now. I believe I went to 373 ratio on the back of it. It was pretty worn when they pulled this thing out. It was in a rollover. When they pulled it out, the bearings in the side of the carrier just fell out. That's how loose everything was. It was pretty scored. So I had to go find another ring and pinion that would probably match, but the one I found had a different deck height, so then I was out that amount, but they gave me a little bit of a break. Anyway, you can see kind of what I did with that piece of frame in the back. I originally put it here because I was going to build a teardrop trailer. I just love the way the Jag rear looks in the back of the car, though. Yeah, we're back in the garage and I'm still crowded. Ah, there you are. So, okay. Just makes it easier to wipe off all the dirt off the motor. I'm not sure what you can see and what you can't. I just gotta, I know the wrench is overkill. There we go. It wasn't on there too hard at all. Go. Not quite how I planned it, but it's okay. Still pretty uneventful. I don't need that. Oh, nice and clean in there. You know, I did not, there's no way that, oh, that's the gasket. What am I thinking? Yeah, I know, I was thinking another one of those moments. Anyway, she's a little dirty underneath there now, but that's what we've got to work with. I'm going to go ahead and wipe her down just a bit. I can't remember when the last time I was underneath there. WD-40 and so this is what it is. I should have brought the light out with me. This is where I want to see if there's any surprises. Oh my, that looks really nice. It's black, but it still looks really nice. And there's nothing here. Nothing here. So she's looking good. I can't put that in there right now. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and grab another filter. And it looks just like toilet paper. There we go. Nice tight fit. The oil's going to be pumped in. It'll go down into the bottom and it'll percolate up through the filter medium, which is now, well, the toilet paper, which is now the filter medium. So that's the only thing you have to do. And there is a new rubber seal that I should probably be putting on it. It'll go on there with the seal that was already in place. It wasn't leaking. I didn't have any seepage or anything. So I don't think I'm going to have a problem. And I did find my little snap-on wrench. Needle nose. These are cute. I thought I lost these underneath the cabinet over here, next to my toolbox underneath the pile of crud. Nice. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this put back in here and we'll dump some oil in her and fire her up. And this, since this is a bypass oil system, I don't have to prime this. Only part of the oil goes through the filter. The rest of it goes directly back into the engine. That's why it's a bypass system. It only takes part of it. It's not a full flow oil system where you would actually get a dry spot if you were to fire this up. And it's not, well guys, it's actually not the next day. It's about 2 weeks later. Still up on the jacks. I don't feel safe driving it with the clutch and the brake the way they are, so that's why we're going to build new assemblies. There we go. Well, this hose is just a little bit dry. I really don't want to move it around too much, but since I'm out of fuel, I think I'm going to put a filter here, because I just noticed the only filter I got in this system is before the pump. It looks really good. I was just underneath it making sure the pipes were drug out from underneath the car. But yeah, I think we're going to go over to the cabinet and get a fuel filter and put on this end of it. I could have gone with a Fram or a Wix. They're clear. Well, this one's opaque, but you can still look in it and see if you got any dirt. This one's crystal clear, but I don't know what you guys think about it, but this one didn't take up too much room. And it's got a nice little filter on the inside of that. And it's kind of like the filter going into the carburetor. Well, maybe not this carburetor, but some of them have that style, if you know what I mean. So I'll get that snug tight and put a split in the line and we'll stick it on there. I'm going to put it right down in here. I just don't have any room for one of those larger filters. If I had any new fuel line, I'd be putting new fuel line on it also. But just to get her running, as long as I don't have any leaks, I've got an electric pump. So It should be easy to tell if I have a leak before I even fire it. But normally, when it's been sitting for a long time, I like to crank it for a minute. But I don't have a way to shut off my fuel pump. Okay. You know something? I think we might have to go with a different one because this might be too small. I don't know how it's going to look, but it's going to do the job for sure. It's got the right size barb on it. That's the Wix filter that was in the box. At least I can see what's in the gas when it goes through here. Well, while I'm doing this, let me give you a little information on this motor. If you want more, go all the way back to my first videos on YouTube. And it should be in there. There we go. It's a 1940's block. It's got the crab distributor up to 48. And I bought a Flathead estate. The heads weren't on it. The intake wasn't on it. It's got some hate. I'm pausing here. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. It's got a Schiffer aluminum flywheel. It's got a 4-inch stroke crank. 1.7 intakes. 1.5 exhaust. The bowl job that was done on it was so severe in a couple bowls on the intake bowls. If you know what flatheads, you'll know what I'm talking about. The intake runners were opened up and the bowls were really hogged out, and some of them had to be backfilled with some type of brazing compound. So, and I've had the motor in here for I think 3 years now, maybe 4 years. I'm not sure. It could be 3 years. Anyway, it's got a Mallory dual point, old school type distributor on the front. It's a newer production, but it's an older one. I've just got some headers that I made for it. I want to put zoomies on it. I don't know if my neighbors are going to like me, but I'll have to make baffles for them. I got the machine shop. Well, there's the other side. It's got a timing gear that has the ability to change the valve timing. When I took it apart, it was set on advanced, so you'd have more power on the low end. I put it back together stock. So that's one of the things that we're going to change. We're going to see if that makes any difference in the way she sounds, which I think it's going to. Because if you change the relationship of when the valve closes versus where the piston is in the stroke, and you allow more air to get in there to be compressed, you're going to have a higher compression. I mean, I know high compression kills these, but compression ratio versus compression of the air that's in the cylinder are two totally different things. So I've got both my vents off, and I think I said that before. Looks like I got some seepage down here, but I think she's ready. There. Yeah. I'm just kind of looking over it, making sure everything's where it's supposed to be. I got a lot of time into this little girl. Somebody put it's a breather, and instead of putting it on valve cover, since there's obviously no valve covers here, it's down here on the passenger side of the pan. And with the rotation, I'm surprised they put it back there, but I don't have a problem with anything leaking out of it. And the reason for the extra venting is this was a blower motor. It still has the original that it was built with, not original to Ford, but original that this block was built with the Harman Collins 3/4 race cam in it also. It's got the original adjustable lifters. I put all new springs in it. I put all new guides in it. And that's all I did on the top. It's got a 80,000th power slot, I believe is what you call them on these here, because that allows the intake and exhaust gases that don't have to climb over this ridge to exit the engine or to enter the combustion chamber. But that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get this fuel pump on here, turned on, and get her fired up. Oh, we got to turn the battery on. There we go. Looks like it's stabilized. Okay. I'm not going to pump it. I'm just going to turn it over, and I hope it doesn't fire on the first kick over, because it's been sitting a long time with no oil pumping through it, even though I did pour it in the intake, not in the intake, the filler on the intake, and it ran down through the valley. But oh baby, it's been a long time since I've said any. Okay, I've got oil pressure now. Got some stuff coming off the header wrap. She just came on. She's up to temp now. Oh, by the way, I don't run water in this either. I run the Evans, the high performance Evans coolant, because there's no water in it. And with the lousy, I think 5-pound cap, 10-pound cap, it doesn't boil to 375. And if you've got a flathead and you got problems losing coolant that's water-based, that's what you need to do. She has not boiled over, not gotten hot and embarrassed me at car shows since I put this motor in it. Here, you want to go under? think it idles still too high. Yeah, it's hovering around 1,000. It's about 800 right now.
Yeah, you can see by the webs I haven't taken this thing out in a long time.
Oh, the door just opens by itself. Yep, that's a Model A. No, it wasn't latched all the way. There's your heartbeat. There it goes. You'll be with me when I reset that cam timing. There we go. Well, there's my Flatty. Tell me what you guys think. That's the first time I've had it fired up in quite a while. Wow, it feels good. It smells good. One thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this Holley carburetor right here. This is a 390 CFM. We're going to take this one off. And I'm going to put this one on here. This is a 600 CFM from a early 60s T-Bird, I believe. There you go. There's the tag. There. But that's what we're doing. I'm going to put it in the sonic bath, and we're going to go ahead and clean it. We're going to zinc plate it, and we're going to do a copycat. Well, guys, that's all I got for you right now. Since somebody out there has got the fire lit underneath my butt about my car. I've always watched a lot of Flathead videos and stuff like that, but it's just been the same old stuff there all the time. And I don't know why this one popped up. Iron Trap Garage, and I like what the kid does. I really do like what the kid does. He's leaving it the way it is. He's not trying to make something fancy out of it. He's just keeping it real. Doing a good job at it. He's got a Arden equipped Flatty over there with a blower on it. This looks real sweet too. Hopefully mine will have a blower on it one day again. But I realize I didn't tell the story on the motor and all that that well. I gave you just bits and pieces of it, but I don't think the gentleman's around anymore that I bought it from. He was in pretty ill health when I got there to purchase all the stuff in his shop. But well, I can see my condensation is still a little cool out here. So we're going to go ahead and, I think, convert putt-putt from swing pedal that it is right now, we're going to convert it to 4-pedal for the clutch and the brake master. Because the only way I can fill them right now, unless I want to put a remote fill on something that wasn't designed for it, is I'd have to undo the original gas cap and fill it in there. Now I have to take my tachometer out, reach my hand in there, pop the top off of the reservoirs, and feel them to make sure they're right up. Yeah, I can't hardly even see them. So I think this would be better all around. Everything would be underneath, even though I like how clean it is underneath. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Hope you come along next time. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button. It doesn't cost you anything. And while you're at it, might as well tap the bell. Just like you had a hiccup and you just kind of tapped twice. It's happened to me. Anyway, be safe in the shop, guys. This is Ron. I'll see you next time on Flathead Ron's Garage. Bye.